What's everybody? What's up, everybody? Sorry, I can't talk. I'm so nervous. I'm JustNZane. We're going to play 100% no major glitches today. I hope everyone is having a great time at AGDQ 2024.
Hey, I'm Scotty. I also run this game. Hello, that's why I'm here. Thank you for doing all the talking, Justin.
No problem.
I'm going to hand it over to the commentators and everyone in the room to count us down.
Got it.
Get to the continue screen.
Yeah.
Will do.
All right, so I'll give you guys a count from 3. Is that okay with you guys?
That's okay with me.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. Best of luck to you both.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, so this is the 100% no major glitches run for Metroid Dread. If any of you are familiar with any of Metroid Dread speedrun, and a lot of this run is going to look very similar, at least for a little bit, to the any % run, of course, with the exception of grabbing the items, of course. So with that being said, a lot of what you'll see and notice at the start of the run is very movement heavy, along with minor glitches here and there. For example, like pseudo wave shots, where Samus is basically clipping her arm cannon into the wall to slip through and shoot literally through the wall.
Yeah, essentially just poking through the collision. It's an essential trick for NMG runs, and it comes up pretty much immediately after this Atom Room. They're going to go through the climb here, kind of demonstrating quick rises, which is buffering your jump by pressing the B button as you reach the ledge. This only works on one tile with ledges, but this is pretty much a huge demo of that movement.
Yeah, this is a very important run, or room, I should say, in the run, because it serves as a very fascinating way to really teach and grind, like Hobbit was saying, those ledge grabs in order to get through the rest of the game.
Yep, that first pseudo wave skips the broken Emmy. That's called Elaine skip. A lot of names for random enemies, so I'll try to keep you guys updated on that. Both guys got through it so quickly. That early cloak pseudo they just did is so tough, and now they're going to be coming up on their first boss, Corpius.
Yeah, so the thing with Corpius is that Corpius can give you a couple of different patterns depending on where its neck is going to be going. So neither runner, unfortunately, got what we call a head stuck pattern, where during the second phase where Corpius is invisible, his head is stuck, quote unquote, down to the bottom, where we are able to get a much quicker and easier fight. But this fight can obviously, as you can see, the boss is invisible.
Where's your hit?
So you can tell that it's kind of a headache during early game Dread runs, that it's very a big reset point.
It's a super common reset point, but both runners basically making, I mean,
very
it's
quick
like it's nothing.
Yeah, good job, you guys.
Yeah. But they're neck and neck right now, and I imagine it's going to be like this for a while.
Yeah. The Phantom Float, the ability that both runners just got, is actually a really cool ability that is new to the Metroid series from this game. It allows Samus it basically incorporates a little bit of stealth elements to this franchise. The Phantom Float allows her to go invisible, and with the Phantom Float, she's able to avoid the enemies that are going to be pursuing her through the different enemy sections throughout the game. And what's cool about that is that you can actually manipulate a lot of enemy hitboxes. They won't necessarily see Samus if she Phantom Floats in time and then uses it and deactivates it, and you'll see that at various points during the run as well.
In addition, there are a couple doors that are cloak required as well here in Artaria, but we'll see that in a little bit after this segment through Charge Beam. And you might notice the Emmy is nowhere to be found. Because we didn't go through the intended spawn point of the Emmy, it's just not there.
Yeah, so it's a really cool thing, actually. Again, like Hobbit said, the Emmy is just not loaded into the game. Until you go through that specific load checkpoint, I guess,
yeah, the cutscene.
The cutscene for the Emmy, you're able to go through this early Emmy section in Artaria without having to worry about the Emmy at all.
Yeah, and you see Scotty got the first try toilet skip. This room notoriously shaped like a toilet. If you fall down, you get fall
flushed
into the toilet. You have to flush it, drain the water. Justin working on it now, while Scotty's working on a water plat skip. You leverage the slope on the ceiling to respin faster.
Good job, Justin.
Nice stuff, good stuff. And that allows you to reach that ledge you normally wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, again, the Phantom Cloak ability, you're able to just buffer a lot of things, and it makes things like jumping off of slopes like that significantly easier. So it's really good to have early on.
Yeah, it just increases that window a little bit more, makes it easier. Nice, Justin. All right, Scotty collecting the charge beam, and Justin hot on his tail. So now we're going to take a tour through the rooms that we saw all originally, but we will be picking up the first energy tank. I know Justin had something he wanted to say about energy tanks, so I'll leave that to him when he gets there.
Yeah, we're gonna try and continue that on from the Metroid 2 Echoes run, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes run, courtesy of Mr. Miguel. So this game does have 14 energy tanks, but a lot of them are also broken up into smaller energy parts. So obviously, if all of you in the room would like to, whenever we get a full energy tank, just go E. And then whenever we get a smaller energy part, it'd be funny if we could just go E. And then, of course, once we get all 4 of those energy parts, we can go the full E.
Yep. And you see Scotty slides before he cloaks there. That allows you to get through the cloak door a little bit faster than just walking. Just a small optimization that adds up over time. You may also notice that after a spin jump that they're able to charge beam almost immediately. There's a property in Dread where if you spin jump or turn around right as you start your charge, it will automatically fully charge, and that's used for several DPS tricks later on against the central units once you achieve a later item. But for now, it's just used to hit doors as they're passing by.
And I want to mention as well, you'll see Justin falling through those rooms right now with what we call spin falls. Those spin falls, they might not seem like much, but over the course of an almost 2-hour run, they add up exponentially. Mm-hmm. So it is obviously significantly faster to fall down and not grab a ledge than it is to like, oh, I fall down or I grab this ledge, oops, and then continue on. Just in this section in Artaria alone, spin falls add up and will save you like upwards of like 2-ish minutes. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, it's a notorious section for Samus grabbing ledges with her one hand. We see Scotty coming up on the Magus skip here. This is essentially the same property as the water plat skip, where you use a setup to cancel or allow yourself to spin fall earlier so you can reach that upper ledge which spawns the Emmy once you go through that door, which allows us to go to the central unit and actually kill it. If you go to the central unit without breaking that blob, the Emmy cannot get to you and you are stuck.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting soft block there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nice, Justin. So you might have noticed that Justin didn't really use a setup. It's kind of personal preference. Scotty used that dash melee to space himself, but if you know the spacing, you can quite literally just jump up there. Just get up there.
Yeah, just get up there, unironically.
All right, so first Emmy kill, you pretty much just stare it in the face and shoot it. Scotty looking like he's gonna get a slide under kill here. That's nice and easy for him. Oddly enough, this is considered one of the hardest Emmy fights in the game, so good stuff to Scotty.
Yeah, Artaria alone is full of reset points, and then this is one of the biggest ones in the run. Yeah, the first 8-9 minutes of this game alone is just reset city, so. You'll see Justin right here. It looks like he got up here in enough time to do what we call a plant kill.
Oh no! Let's see if he gets it.
Just
unfortunate.
Barely, yeah.
Yeah, that's the risky run. You can get booped, but I'm sure he'll be right up there on the second try.
Yeah, so the plant kill, you're able to, quite literally, Samus will be able to plant her feet and charge to break the face shield off of the Emmy and then destroy the Emmy's shield, face, whatever, without having to slide under like we saw Scotty do.
Yep.
Obviously a slide under now.
Yeah, obviously a high risk, high reward situation.
Yep. And as you saw, the Emmy spawns a little further away, so it makes it a little bit easier to get that plant or slide under. All right, Fortify, you see where Scotty is. You want to tell everyone what's coming up?
Yeah, so Scotty is going to be attempting what we call the Cataris, the Artaria damage boost, I should say, leading up to Cataris. It's a series of a few quick inputs that ultimately end up saving you about 8 seconds, because otherwise you have to take that very slow magnet all the way across the room. We'll see if Scotty can get it.
Oh, he nailed it.
Very much nailed it. Yeah, that damage boost is notorious because you have to rely on manipulating the plies that are hovering above you in a correct way, because otherwise you just kind of get stuck there, like hoping that you can manipulate them on the fly. So great job from Scotty being able to manipulate those in that way.
Yeah, and I think a big thing to take note of is that there are several ways to do that trick. Everyone,
I mean, there's like 3 or 4 different ways. All of them like mildly faster than the other.
Yeah, exactly.
So while Justin is heading up to the elevator to Cataris, and while Scotty is just kind of leading up to the final Atom Room that we're going to see, this would be a good time to read a donation or two.
Yeah,
sure.
And Metroid Dread is getting so much hype already. So let's start with $5 from Steve Stone, who says, let's get hype for Metroid Dread. $25 from B.O.B. Save the animals, obviously. They helped you figure out how to get out of there. GDQ killing it as always. And how about one more? Hey, we got 25 from Fortify, rolling in from literally right behind you. I'm so happy that Hundo is finally being featured on the GDQ main stage. Best of luck to both of you, and may the Atom odds be ever in your favor.
So we saw both runners clear elevator deboost, no problem.
Yeah.
Love to see them playing good, playing smooth, and just kind of gaming a little.
Gaming? Question mark?
Uh-oh.
Someone said gaming? What?
Uh-oh. All right, so we're going to see a little deboost here, manipulating the plies to boop you into that magnet. Nice job, Scotty. That's called the Super Boost. It's a small optimization that looks really cool. And you notice how Scotty kind of slapped the ply up a little bit. That just kind of manipulates its position so it doesn't fly down instead of up.
Yeah, there's a lot of hitbox manipulations that you'll see in this section and in the rest of the game that are like that.
All right, Scotty, completing the first hell run, or the like the main hell run of Cataris. With the energy tank, it's pretty permissive. If you only have, 99 HP, it can be kind of tough. The 1 in 500 on stream.
Oh no!
I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah. So this green Emmy in this room is one of the most prominent rooms in Cataris. That's the room that Scotty is in. That Emmy has like 7 or 8 different spawn locations, and some of them are significantly more frequent than others. Like Hobbit said, that one is a very rare spawn, so it's kind of funny that that was seen in a marathon.
Hobbit, you did this. You talked about this yesterday.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I manifested.
I've never gotten that in a run.
Sorry about that. I can leave.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, notably that spawn is the only one that forces you to stop.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about something that I actually mentioned in my donation message not too long ago. There is one major trick in Cataris, and it's known as Atom Skip. You might have heard me, again, in the message say, may the Atom odds be ever in your favor. We call this the great equalizer in the Metroid Dread community because of its tendency to, again, equalize races, runs, whatever. You only talk to Atom in this run 4 times. The 3 in Artaria and the 1 in Cataris. And in a little bit, the runners will be going up to a tower here in Cataris where they will attempt a couple of not frame perfect jumps, but
it's pretty narrow windows.
Pretty narrow window jumps where they will be able to have buffered wall jumps and then a melee input followed by another buffered wall jump in order to get enough height over a distance, or over the top of the tower, I should say, where they will be able to break the chain of atoms. And what that means is...
Whoa. He just got up there.
Yeah, he just got up there. Amazing, Scotty. What that means, now that Scotty has just done it, is that every atom navigation room in the rest of the game is turned off because the sequence has been broken. Mm-hmm. So this in any percent, this ends up adding up to about 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes of time save. Mm-hmm. In Hundo, since there are 2 or 3 more Atom Rooms to go to, it ends up being closer to a 4-minute time save.
Yep.
So it's a very mandatory trick if you're running hundo. And again, Scotty ended up getting it first try, so great job, Scotty.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
feeling
huge.
like a bit of a gamer.
Continuing the GDQ
Got that
tradition,
dog
truly.
in him.
And with Justin heading there soon, I heard he might need a little bit of help with his Atom skip. Do you think we could get some get up theres from the crowd, the back couch?
Yeah, I mean, back couch,
What do you think?
just get up there, you know what I mean?
All right, guys, ready?
Yeah.
Just get up there.
Oh,
Oh, come on, just get up there.
Oh.
You got it.
Get up there.
Get up there. Get up there. Get up there. Get up.
oh, I'm nervous.
It's all right.
You got this, Justin. That looks good.
We got up
he's
there.
up there.
Let's go.
Omega Gaming from JustNZane. Let's go.
Yeah, huge.
All right, now the run should be perfect sailing because there's no other tricks that we need to do that are this hard.
Yeah, a lot of, again, from this point on, head into Dyren, most of Cataris is just movement. So another great time for donations, T-Pat.
Great job getting up there, by the way. $25 from Shock9616. Had to leave a donation.
By the way, this would be a good time to just, just kind of
Had to leave a donation during my favorite game of all time. I won't be able to watch the whole thing because I got class soon, but I just wanted to say good luck to Zane and Scotty on this incredible run. P.S. Save the animals.
So true.
I don't know what animals we can save, but I sure hope so.
I can't see a thing through these. I'm going to give these to Hobbit.
All right. All right, it's gamer time. Something we missed while Scotty was going through here, you can do some wall jumps to catch that rail on the way down and just save a little time, called the zipper skip. Just another small optimization out there.
True, true, true. I think we got time for another donation or two.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and there's plenty. How about $25 from LM Matas, or Motas, if I'm pronouncing that right. Good luck, Scotty and Justin, with all the good vibes. Don't you want to hug an Emmy? Just kidding. Thanks for showcasing this amazing game.
I just did, and it cost me.
And we have $100 from Bash Prime. You are no match for Ravenbeak at your current level of power. A friend of mine saw Ravenbeak take his shirt off in the shower, and he said that Ravenbeak had an 8-pack. That Ravenbeak was shredded.
Oh my God.
You better be careful, guys.
Based.
It's just movement now, so if you got more,
Yeah,
now's a great time.
Okay.
Time for about 2 more, actually.
Okay, $25 from Manager, the dreadful race to remember. Let's go, Justin and Scotty. And $50 from Arcanok saying, good luck to some amazing Dread Runners. I can't wait till they collect the best item in the game, the Pulse Radar.
That is the best item. It helps you see the hidden blocks and all the hidden items. We need to get 100%.
Let's go, Metroid Dread.
So Scotty, in a little bit, going to be collecting a pretty important item here, the wide beam, as it's known in Metroid Fusion, Spazer for Super Metroid enjoyers. What the wide beam allows you to do is to hit the wide beam boxes that are going to be in your way. You basically come to Dyren to grab the wide beam so that you can go back to Cataris to take out the green Emmy, because the wide beam, the green Emmy is currently being blocked by a wide beam box. So coming to Dyren, grabbing the wide beam, and then you're able to
Ooh, great deboost.
Great job on that deboost.
That's a very, very narrow window, so good stuff to Scotty.
Yeah, you're essentially able to grab the wide beam and return to Cataris uninhibited.
Yeah, it essentially triples your damage as well, so we're going to see some different strats at the... Ooh, scammed. We're going to see some different strats coming into the central unit for the green Emmy compared to the white Emmy. White Emmy, you just saw missiles or maybe some weaving from Scotty because he's an absolute machine. But now we'll make use of the charge missile technique, which is shortened to Charlie just for simplicity. It's basically making use of the quick charge.
Yeah, so the quick charge with the charge beam. So Metroid Dread has an interesting feature with its charge beam. It doesn't fully, if you're in the air and you're like in the middle of a spin jump, it doesn't fully check if you have a charged shot, like obviously fully charged. So we're able to take advantage of that feature by obviously, like Hobbit mentioned, utilizing quick charges. So those will be featured on most central unit fights and bosses moving forward. But obviously, we start the game with missiles. So by utilizing the two in tandem, again, those charge missile Charlie combos, we're able to do an obscene amount of damage very, very quickly.
We may also end up referring to those wide beam blocks as Pedro, so in case there's any confusion, sometimes he doesn't like to cooperate, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll still vote for him. So Scotty heading up on the green central unit here. We're going to see him hit the Charlies until the core is exposed.
Yeah, so normally this takes obviously a lot of missiles to knock out, but if you're utilizing those charge missiles, it takes only 14 total shot, or 7 total shots, 14 total with charge shot and a missile to knock out the shell and to just break it. Obviously, Scotty has an absolutely insane mash, so
yeah,
controller smoking, bro.
Yeah, I see. Be careful, man. But the first shot of the Omega Beam is actually higher damage to things that can melt. So if you can mash at least 15 hertz, then you can actually out DPS the default Omega Stream.
Speaking of mashing really quick, because obviously Scotty just took out the green Emmy for the Morph Ball, and Justin's on his way. Speaking of mashing, this game is interesting in that Mercury Steam, the developer of the game, made the decision not to cap Samus's fire rate. Obviously, other Metroid games do have that cap. This one doesn't. So we're able to take advantage of that by mashing most of our fights. Because of that, also turbo is allowed in the game. Neither of these runners are using turbo today. However, it is a legal feature in the game. But because of that, it is, again, you just saw Scotty like absolutely go ham on the central unit once the shell was broken. And you'll also be seeing that mash in a lot of other fights moving forward. So
yeah, it's a very, very common thing, especially against some future enemies that are essentially just a DPS check.
Namely Ravenbeat at the end of the run.
Yeah. All right, so Justin coming up on the Morph Ball Emmy, gonna stare him in the face real quick. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna be seeing Professor Stupid. It doesn't stave any time, but it is funny.
Yeah, there's an interesting way to kill this Emmy called Professor Stupid. Because it's called that way because it's a ridiculously hard kill and it barely saves any time at all. But it's actually been retimed to, turns out, to not save any time. It's actually losing time, more time than it saves. So Professor Stupid.
Yeah.
Eloquently named.
We're pretty much just doing movement and waiting for him to collect Morph Ball. So if there's any more donations, you've got time for a couple.
There is so many donations, and the memes are rolling in too. We got $100 from Josco, who says, "Good luck to the runners. Those Shrine Spark puzzles took me ages on my first 100%. We got $10 from Jayin, says, "Big ups to Justin and Scotty. Let's see an exciting race." E. And $10 from Yurik, who says, "Was looking forward to Metroid Dread the entire week. So happy to donate during to it."
E.
Good luck to the runners, and most importantly, E.
All right, so we see our runners here working their way up to the Varia climb. Scotty getting scammed by Quick Charge, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Varia climb is an interesting feature in this game because, again, it's utilizing more of those ledge grabs and dismounts that we saw in the Artaria climb. That's why the room is one of the most important rooms in the entire game, because it's important to learn to do fast, but also you'll see that Scotty's currently doing it right now. A lot of those skills are utilized further on in the game. So if you're able to get like really consistent and really good at the Artaria climb, you're pretty much golden for all those other movement segments in the game.
Yeah, because there's certainly plenty. And I heard one of the donations mention Shine Spark puzzles, so.
Oh yeah.
Wait till cleanup.
Yeah, cleanup.
Wait till cleanup.
Cleanup is a movement clinic, so. Obviously, Scotty now has Varia Suit. With the Varia Suit, Samus, it's obviously retaining most of its features from previous Metroid titles. It's increasing her defense. The Varia Suit is increasing her defense. It's also enabling her to survive hot temperatures. However, unlike prior Metroid titles, especially unlike Fusion, which is interesting since Fusion is its immediate predecessor, it's not protecting Samus from extreme cold, and that's kind of a more lore choice due to Samus having Metroid DNA.
Yep.
So that's the only thing that it's not doing, but the gravity suit later on will take care of that for us.
All right, so we got Justin here in Varia Climb.
Let's go.
Okay, gaming.
Gaming.
Good stuff. Great Varia Climb, very nice. Let's see if you get the unmorph. Unfortunately not. It's a little finicky.
Hey, I didn't hit the middle block this time on my...
Hey, you got it, man. But we're going to see Scotty coming out of the red TP here, and he's going to be heading towards another boss that definitely well known in the series, but for speedrunners is known to be a bit of a time waster of the evil and green variety.
Evil variety, yeah. Yeah, you would know that pretty well.
I sure would. He's coming up to Kraid here while Justin is making his way back to do the same.
So because we're on the topic as Scotty makes his way through the Rocky Mountains here, Kraid, ooh, very nice
that was
damage,
nice.
Scotty. Kraid is going to be, it's kind of similar to the SM Kraid fight where, I mean, you have to hit his mouth and there's a bunch of things that you need to do in that area. But it's, the Kraid fight, obviously, you'll see Scotty utilizing a lot of these charge missiles because the amount of damage that Scotty's doing to Kraid right now is absolutely insane. And then in phase 2, you'll see that he's going to do a trick we call infinite wall jumping here, where you're able to jump up the wall right here. This trick is not actually legal in the game. If Samus tries to do that jump in normally, she will actually spin in the direction away from the wall. But if you jump and hold your stick neutral, you kind of trick the game into thinking that you're not currently in the air, and it works in your favor when you're trying to jump up walls. So,
oh no.
Yo, cutscene %, let's go.
Cutscene for the fans?
It's a cool cutscene.
It really is.
Gaming?
Another notable part of the Kraid fight that's unfortunately not featured in most categories is that if you manage to collect bombs before the fight, you can actually kill Kraid phase 2 immediately by going in his belly.
Belly % enjoyers in the chat.
For any category extension enjoyers. I know we got some back there.
So Diffusion Beam making a return to the series after an absence in Fusion.
Yeah, coming from Other M, Satterhaw's favorite game.
Other M, and which is unironically a good game, don't at me. And obviously in Fusion where it was attached to the missiles, but rather than having an instant charge, great job getting up there. Like unironically, just get up there.
Yeah, Justin, literally, just get up there.
Diffusion makes the return though, and it's a good return, and it's on the charge beam again, so it's a much quicker source of damage. So now, again, talking of those charge missiles, now that the Diffusion beam is now attached to the charge beam, it's going to be doing even more damage.
Great, I'm just trying to extract the cavity, dude. Chill.
Yeah. JustNZane DDS here.
So this movement leading up to grapple beam is pretty boring. So there's a little, and it's kind of like just going to the gravity or to the grapple beam. So this is a good time to read a chunk of donations.
That sounds like my cue. $100 from Ednolium. Y'all in for a treat. Two incredible runners running a great category in an incredible game. $100 for 100%. Here's another $25 ready to go if either runner hits Benaria to True Link. Did I get that right?
Berenia.
I got you.
$100 from Viz. So glad to see Dread 100% NMG being showcased. Best of luck to the runners. Good luck, Justin and Scotty. Much love to GDQ, PCF, and the entire Metroid community. Save the Emmys?
No.
Well, technically one did get saved.
That's true. We saved Elaine.
Technically speaking.
She's alive.
You got time for a few more, T-Pop?
Yeah, $25 from Mike the Gaia. I absolutely love Metroid Dread and seeing speed running for such an important cause. Let's go. And $250 from Namgoose. I got to the final boss of Metroid Dread and gave up. But my 5-year-old put in the time and effort and beat this very hard game.
Gaming.
Speedrunner in training?
Rated G for gaming.
So grapple beam now, pretty good version of the grapple beam, if I do say so myself. The grapple beam allows you to obviously stick to the magnets at any grapple points. It also does a very minute amount of damage to enemies. You'll see that these slugs are actually taking damage to the grapple beam, which technically speaking means, of course, you can fight bosses with it if you want to sit here for a half an hour.
Yeah, if you want to really waste some time, you can try grapple-only Ravenbeak.
Tickle the chicken %.
Unfortunately.
As said by Gamer Grub Dog.
Scotty doing the return trip to, high five. Nice. Scotty making the return trip. Justin heading towards grapple. That's a high five, as we say in races. You got something to say?
Yes. So now that Justin is grabbing grapple beam and Scotty's heading out of back to Dyren, there's actually going to be a very interesting interaction right here with the yellow Emmy that we're about to see. So the yellow Emmy here has a couple of different spawn points where you need to be like actively listening through your headset or whatever means that you're listening to the game. If the Emmy, it's actually been kind of mildly solved. If the Emmy, if you hear it coming out of your right, then that means that the Emmy is above you and you need to get ready to potentially do one of those phantom cloak evades that I mentioned earlier. If it comes out of your left headset, or left ear I should say, then the Emmy is going to be in a more favorable position where you should be able to just get through the zone without any problem. So we'll see Scotty go through this right now.
Good spawn, good spawn, please.
Oh, bad spawn. But he gets through.
Nice. And you'll see that, yeah, very nice. You'll see that he utilized that Phantom Cloak to slide through, and the Emmy obviously wouldn't have seen him would have seen him otherwise, so.
Yeah, and something interesting is that the Emmys can hear you walking. So you notice that the light turns yellow. That means they're actively searching for you. So you use that slide cloak to kind of make it look around a little bit more without seeing you.
Yeah, Mercury's team did a fantastic job crafting the Emmys in this game. They have a really, for the most part, a really workable AI, and they know what they're doing. Some of them are pretty finicky and have unique interactions. Like for instance, the yellow Emmy will hear you from a little bit further away than others, and the purple Emmy, for example, is blind. But to compensate that, they all have each weird interactions. But yeah, Mercury's team did a really good job fixing up the Emmys. Yeah, and we'll see Justin here getting a really good spawn here where doesn't have to use the Phantom Cloak to get.
Yeah, just waltzing through the Emmy zone, no problem.
All right, audience, this is for you.
So we're going to see Justin here attempt a missile pseudo. This was something that wasn't thought possible, but it actually is. If you shoot missiles, you can actually shoot the blob that's off screen. Justin's already gotten a few shots on it.
Yeah, this was very, very new.
Let's go.
Huge. Omega Gaming. Good job, Justin.
Great stuff. That is a very, very odd pseudo.
Yeah, it's really finicky, like you mentioned, Hobbit. It's really not super good to go for unless you know that you're going to get it, because at that point you very quickly start to lose the time that you would have gained by just simply going around the dark room. But great job, Justin, from getting that. That's saving some time for sure.
Yeah, and to put it in context, I believe the missile pseudo was found within the last 4 months.
Yeah, no, not even 2-3 months. It's very new.
I believe it was our candy.
Yep. Finder of everything, honestly.
Shout outs to Arcan.
Yeah, shout out to Changing Dread.
He's
most of the things.
Yeah, we wouldn't be where we are without him, seriously.
Scotty is a golfer?
He's a golfer. Known, for those of you who watch AGDQ 2023, that is the Metroid Dread golf course.
Yeah,
so
we call that, if we land in that, a hole-in-one, so, Scotty's a golfer. Justin will be making his way there. We'll see if he's also a known certified golfer. But yeah, while we do this, another good time for some donations.
The community love is coming in here. $146 from Hyperbola. Love to see Dread getting some love. $1 for every item you're gonna collect. Also, let's donate to Save Those Frames. $20 from Mr. Dino023. Amazing to see Justin and Scotty running Metroid Dread for a great cause. Greetings from Mexico to these amazing people. Couldn't be happier to see this race. Greetings from Mexico from your good old friend, Mr. Dino.
Justin's a golfer?
So we've got 2 hole-in-ones, so we're even. We're gonna need to use the second trip to break this tiebreaker.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, would you like to?
Yeah, so you saw Scotty's slide cloak there. That basically changes the cycle for that little guy that shoots the laser, as well as the guy who shoots the thorn. His name is Steve. essentially allows you to walk through without getting hurt, which is just a little bit faster than getting dinked by that laser, which actually does a lot of damage.
And then coming up, there's going to be a very important trick. We call this backdoor flash, or BDF. This trick is insanely important in every single route category of this game. We're basically going to be tricking this shutter door, which ordinarily would close like this. We use some bomb jumps to trick the door into opening by making the door think that there's no one on it. Because if Samus is over a certain line for a set amount of time, the door will open like that.
No problem.
It's a very, very rhythm-based trick, and if you are struggling with it, it's about 150 beats per minute.
Yeah, so if you're a fan of the Killers, get listening.
Unironically, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, great job, Scotty. Justin, not that far behind. Neither runner fallen in the mini moat. I'm sorry, B-Dog.
So unfortunately, normally we would see a couple pseudo waves in this room, but they have to collect that missile tank, and this is really the best opportunity to do it. So we're going to see a strat you wouldn't normally see in any percent, like in Keku's run back in 2022. Instead, they have to grab this and then make their way up.
Scammed, Justin.
Oh, that's it.
Good job.
Good job, Justin.
Thank you.
And Scotty silently hitting C-boost. Shoutouts to Charlotte Arania for really pioneering that. A little D-boost off the fish because the cycle just happens to work out that he's kind of right there and you don't have to do the water bomb jump.
Yeah, as you see, now that we have the flash shift, this is similar to I believe it's called the Mothwing Cloak in Hollow Knight, if you're familiar with Hollow Knight. You now, basic general rule of thumb is that as you now have the flash shift, you never want to stop using it. The flash shift is a ridiculous movement tech that Mercury's team put into this game, and it is very, very just required to move quickly in the game.
It's one of the most technical, like it seems very simple as just like an immediate burst option, but there are so many optimizations with like how you flash, where you flash, and how you interact with like flashes and wall jumps. Ooh, nice water bomb jump from Justin, opting to go for the more traditional setup.
Yeah.
Scotty heading into the yellow Emmy. I'm sure many people when they played this game were horrified of the yellow Emmy running at you at maximum speed.
Yeah, the yellow Emmy casually is definitely one of the hardest fights in this game, but for anyone who struggled with that, we're about to make you feel validated a little bit.
So get your notepads out,
Yeah,
get your recorder.
Time to take some notes as Scotty takes out this yellow Emmy kill.
All right, yeah, you just stare and shoot.
You literally just stare and shoot.
Not so fast now, is he?
An interesting feature that I would, again, I mentioned how a lot of the Emmys have their own interesting, unique interactions. A funny thing about this Emmy and the blue Emmy that you'll see later in Gathering, this Emmy obviously is the speed booster Emmy, so this Emmy is going to be moving faster with its face shield on, and then once its shield gets blown off, it moves slower. The blue Emmy in Gathering is the opposite. It moves faster or slower with its face shield on, and then deceptively fast with it off. So that blue Emmy kill that will be featured later in the run is another potential reset point in regular runs.
Justin, I see you with those Charlies. That was clean.
Scotty, I see what you're doing. Scotty?
He's gaming?
Uh-oh. Nice.
Oh my goodness, Scotty's cooking.
That's a cool
Scotty
keep.
is in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's a really tough charge, charge keep, and that the Shine Spark timer is only about 5 seconds, so whenever you're between stores and sparks, you really have to be careful.
So you'll now see Scotty's going to do something that we call spark jumping. Shoutouts to Ed Nolium for actually finding this. The spark jumps is a weird interaction. I don't believe it's frame perfect, but it is you jump and just press B and jump at the end of a ball spark. Your Samus will actually get a bunch of height from that jump, and you'll be able to again jump super high. And so that actually is featured pretty prominently in this section right here and in cleanup.
Ooh, great keep from Scotty.
Great keep from Scotty, yeah.
Yeah, and you made, E?
E?
You may notice that in some cases, the runners, instead of just continuing to run, will actually instant spark out of a store. It's because the speed of you sparking is significantly faster than you just running. So you can save, little bits of time here and there from strategically placed sparks.
This is by far the best speed booster in the Metroid series. This is an unbelievable amount of movement that you're able to do with the speed booster in this game. And it is just an incredible item. The speed booster has never looked better.
Yeah, I mean, you can do pretty much anything. Slide, wall jump.
Yeah, and then your sparks are in any direction. So it's really a phenomenal piece of tech that Mercury Steam reworked.
Okay.
Scam?
Get up there? Just get up there?
Just get up there?
All right, so we see Scotty heading into Ferenia here. We're going to see Quiet Robe, also known as the dad who stepped up for Samus. In lore, he contributed Thoha DNA to her.
No, I don't believe it was him specifically, but he was part of the Chozo tribe from SR388.
All right, so a notoriously tricky boss fight. You're essentially trying to spark this robot twice. However, sometimes he just doesn't cooperate.
Yeah, this is another big potential time loss. It's, again, that fight is pure RNG on where your Chozo robot soldiers are going to be featured. That was the first of a couple that are featured in this run, because obviously there are no regular Chozo soldiers on ZDR because of the, oh, very nice.
That's so sick.
Because of the X infestation that you will see later on.
Yeah, Scotty just blasting through that Ferenia trip real quick, going back to Dairon so he can head to the now unlocked door in Berenia, while Justin heading towards Quiet Robo himself.
Yeah, both the runners are only being separated by about a minute right now, so this is a pretty good run from both of them.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Okay. Get up there.
Just get up there.
Oh, it always works.
It always works, except when it doesn't. But
All right.
even then.
All right, that's one.
Very nice.
Oh. All right, that's going to be two.
Good job, Justin.
Very nice, very
kill.
nice.
So while this movement head into Berenia 2 is quite unique and fun, this would be another good time for some potential donations.
Yes, chef. $15 from Emmy. Beep, boop, beep.
No, that's not good.
And I got $50 from Nosamaze, who says, love to see more Metroid. Here's 50 towards Save the Animals. And by the way, Save the Animals is winning by quite a margin right now. $1,188 to just $471 for kills. So Save quite in the lead. But of course, you can change that by donating.
So I would like to make a comment that Samus canonically saves the animals, so there is a correct choice here.
Unfortunately, Scotty, only a regular golfer, not a pro golfer, but,
Dang.
It's not really major time loss. It's just a little fun.
Time for a few more.
Yeah, it's like, are you sure about that? I got $10 from Manager, who says, both runners are killing it, but they're pro golfers. I'll donate an extra $10 for each hole-in-one they pull off. You will all know when you see it.
I'm sorry.
We saw it, didn't we? And I got $10 from Mr. Miguel. Good luck to Scotty and JustNZane on the race. Metroid Dread quickly became my favorite 2D Metroid shortly after playing it. Speedrunning this game has been a wonderful experience and meeting cool people that are also speedrunning this game as well. To Scotty, please try to contain yourself from giving elaborate explanations of bosses. You need to focus. And Justin, you got this, man. Don't let the nerves get to you. At least you're not running Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
Love you, Miguel.
So the tech here in Berenia is really interesting. Berenia 2 is actually one of the hardest movement sections of the entire game. And it doesn't really appear that way on first glance, but the fact that there's so much movement tech here, there's a speed keep in here, as you can see, there's a whole lot of flash shifting. It's one of the most movement intensive portions of the game, whether it's any % or in hundo. So very easy to just randomly lose time. Even if you have like a perfect, quote unquote, Berenia 2, still it's like, oh, wait a minute, I guess I lost time. So very difficult movement section.
All right, here's another pseudo coming up. Skips the Drog fight completely. Unfortunately, we will not be seeing Water Spore spawn.
Yeah, Water Spore spawn is slow, as it turns out.
Yep. And we got an E?
E? E?
Oh, that's an E. That's a 4. Ooh, great Steve Tower climb from
Yeah, good job
Scotty.
from the Berenia Tower.
All right, unfortunately, no Berenia True Links, but still clearing the first half of that keep pretty well.
Get up there.
Oh,
what are you
get
doing?
up there? I guess Samus really wanted to practice her wall jumps.
She found a nickel.
Makes sense. You probably got time for a donation or two while we're on the way into Gavarin here.
Okay, let's see. I had one just saved here from your community. We got $145 from B-Dog. Good luck, Scotty and Justin. Happy to see my favorite category at GDQ. And Justin, you can find a picture of Frank the dog in your DMs.
Nice. Shout outs to B-Dog. Love you, man.
Ooh. Nice Steve Tower climb from Justin as well. And then Scotty is going to be blasting the Gavarin Robo right in the face. You might notice that this one is a different color. The gold robots actually have a little bit more health. What?
How did that happen?
What? Okay.
What?
So I think I might be able to explain this. It sure is. So that was what's called an axis skew. There are a couple ways to trigger that glitch, but I think in this case, because he had iframes from touching the robot, when he hit it with his melee, thinking he was going to counter the blue melee, it can actually cause you to skew by accident. And you might have noticed that when he fired a missile there, it wasn't doing anything. That's because Samus was aimed towards the screen, and missiles cannot do that.
Major glitch, by the way.
That is, in fact, a major glitch.
Accidental major glitch, it's okay. Yeah, this game is pretty interesting sometimes. Like, even things that you didn't really intend to do will just be like, oh, I guess that's a thing.
Scotty's a task.
So
sorry.
I'm pretty sure that was actually the same property that was used in Legacy for the original Gravity Skip.
Yeah.
So truly an incredible sighting at GDQ.
Marathon luck.
Truly.
So I want to take a minute here because Scotty's head in there now. Obviously, we get called to, nice hackathon boost, we get called to Planet ZDR because supposedly at the end of Fusion, the X-Parasites have been destroyed. The BSL has been destroyed as well as SR-388. Why are there X-Parasites on this random planet? So we obviously haven't seen any yet, but that's about to change. We're heading to Elune right now, and Elune is basically the quarantined area of Planet ZDR where all of the X-Parasites are currently being held. And once we get out of Elune, you'll see that from leaving this section of the game on, the X-Parasites are basically running rampant. But again, since it's a continuation of Fusion's story, they'll just Fusion goated game, actually.
Scotty, calm down.
Huh? Where?
Don't worry, it's not here, Scotty.
No!
Oh, no.
Since the game is a continuation of Fusion, Samus will be able to absorb X-Parasites freely without any consequence, and obviously being infected. So, unlike Fusion, they're definitely taking a backseat as antagonists, where in Fusion they were the primary. But this is where they are all currently being held, as Scotty attempts the worst room in the game.
But he nails it.
But he nails it because he's cracked. I could never. I don't have that much sauce on me.
Yeah, it's really tough to maintain it through all those enemies. They really get in your way.
One of them is pure RNG as well, no matter how long I've labbed it. So.
True.
But yeah, Scotty's just grabbing the Plasma Beam now. Plasma Beam is basically retaining its signature form from previous games as one of Samus's signature beams. Normally her strongest beam, as well as the ability to do piercing damage to enemies, as Scotty does an unbelievably amazing speed keep here. Nice.
Yeah, that's a great keep.
You'll see here now, this Chozo kind of looks different from the robots. It's because this is an actual Chozo soldier. Along with the robot soldiers that Samus has to deal with. She now that Elune is currently being explored, has to now deal with the robot or actual Chozo soldiers that have been infected by the X. So 2 counters after the fight, Samus takes them out.
Yep, and fun fact, in rookie mode, it actually makes those cinematic counters easier. You can just mash the X button, there's no timing.
Oh.
E, by the way.
So we'll be seeing Elon a little bit later during cleanup, but for now, Scotty's gonna go for the greatest time save in the world, hitting what's called a spark shot. Essentially, you can, nice recovery from Justin.
Very nice recovery, Justin. He's gaming.
Huge, yeah, that's a gamer
He's
moment.
a gamer.
Rated G.
G for gamer.
But that Shine Spark you saw from Scotty, essentially you can charge a charge beam while you're sparking and shoot it by hitting R to change your cannon to missiles. That allows you to open doors while you're sparking.
Scotty right now is going to go through the hardest trick in the game. We'll see if he can nail this first try.
It's coming up. Oh, he fumbled it.
He fumbled the cutscene skip. That's unfortunate. That's going to be a catastrophic time loss.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to cope with it.
Scotty now, though, is going to be doing this Berenia Ice Keep. This keep is one of the most satisfying keeps in the entire game to pull off. Again, this entire game is really a true movement clinic, especially with what things you can do with the speed booster.
Ooh, and he gets a good spawn.
It's a really good spawn on the Ice Emmy and is able to get the full keep. Great job, Scotty.
Yeah, awesome stuff, as per usual.
Setting up a water bomb jump here.
Yep,
Nice.
Skipping the need to get spin boost in order to go up here. Spin boost, unfortunately, not featured in this category.
Yeah.
Since major items actually don't contribute to your completion percentage, oddly enough.
Which is interesting, yeah.
Ooh, that was a great instant spark from Scotty, and we're going to be seeing Justin battle the hardest boss in the game, the cutscene skip. And he nails it.
Nails it. First try. That's going to be a huge
Glad you
catch-up.
said something because I was watching Scotty.
I get it, man. His gameplay's mesmerizing. All right, so Scotty's going to boost out and then jump up here. That manipulates the Emmy's movement if you open that door that's up there to get immediately on the ceiling for the fastest blue Emmy kill. This is another Emmy kill that's typically very hard. Justin silently nailing the plasma keep.
Good keep.
Amazing.
And then again, the Ice Emmy, if you lose track of it after you blow the face shield off, will move deceptively fast. So great job from Scotty on making sure that he's not actually getting scammed. Justin in another contender for worst room in the game.
Oh, I hate this room. I fall all the time. Those mushrooms are like maximum spacing to your jump.
So dumb.
So it's really easy to fall.
Nice insta spark.
Huge.
And so right now, they're going to be doing a couple of movement, grabbing some items here and there that are going to be too far out of the way during the cleanup section of the game, while they head to the grapple beams, or not the grapple beam, the gravity suit. So another good time for some donations.
Yep.
We got $50 from Pika Lax Alt, who says, best of luck to the runners. Let's get that drum % bonus game incentive met. And don't forget to take your vitamin E.
So unfortunately, it looks like the Emmy is scamming Justin currently.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice for the Emmy to make. That's weird.
I've never seen it do that before.
To be honest, neither have I. So
This is the first time I've ever gotten this by opening the door up top.
yeah, this section, again, the Emmys all have their own unique patterns, and even if you set things up perfectly, there's a couple of times where it's just the Emmy simply says no. So.
Ooh, Scotty gets a 7-second time save.
2.
Cross bomb skip. 2?
2 seconds.
2?
Let's not go
Sorry,
crazy.
I was thinking of a different thing. Sorry, I just learned this route recently, so forgive me.
It's kind of a joke, but that grabbing that missile now is faster because if you do grab it during cleanup, unfortunately, it's like a 2-second loss during cleanup in Gavarin because you need to either cross bomb skip across the, which is a different trick, but you CBS across the pitfall blocks in order to grab the missile, or you can, once you have cross bombs, you can simply use the cross bombs to get across. But grabbing that missile now with the CBS jumps are very, it's about a 2-second save.
And Justin going for the keep at the top of Gavarin, and he nails it, no problem.
Great job. Great job.
Scotty taught me that while I was here.
And you just did it on the big stage, man. That's impressive.
Scotty's currently doing one of the more notorious speed keeps, not speed
like
keeps,
puzzles.
I guess, speed booster puzzles in the game. We call this early gravity. It's a developer-intended way to grab the gravity suit a little bit earlier. But again, sometimes the speed booster doesn't want to cooperate with you. Sometimes even if you're holding the right angle, you're like a pixel off and you don't get it. But great job from Scotty nailing
God blobs.
and it does get the God blobs, yeah. So great job, Scotty, on getting that. Justin, unfortunately, getting scammed by the game at the moment, but it's okay.
Darn.
But the most notable thing about that early gravity speed puzzle is that it skips a bunch of really ugly water movement that we can save for later now that we have the gravity suit.
Yeah, the intended way to grab gravity suit is going a really long-winded way, and like it's kind of atrocious actually with how intensive it is and how much movement it is. But yeah, developer intended way to just skip all of it. It's pretty nice.
And notably, like Fortify mentioned earlier, the gravity suit actually does protect Samus from cold damage.
Which, funnily enough, we are heading to right now. The story part of this is that ZDR is current, now that the X have been released, there's a quote-unquote an unusually powerful X that is currently wreaking havoc at places, and that X is making a mess in Cataris, which is freezing the lower sections of the planet. So we're entering a very fun...
I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah, that's
Good save, good save. I've done that so many times.
We're entering an area of the game we call Frozen Artaria, and it's actually one of the most satisfying bits of movement. Like, again, there's so much fun movement in this run, but yeah, this section of the game is kind of slightly difficult, and again, we're about to we're going to see why right now.
And Justin gets the semi-god blobs, but you notice that this room is cold. However, if you manage to reach Frozen Artaria without the gravity suit, you don't take damage.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, and thank you for touching on that, because Frozen Artaria is not a true cold section, because the game in Artaria is not cold, like normally. This is basically just a color swap, a palette swap, I guess you could say.
Yeah, or reskin of the area.
Reskin of the area. Like Hobbit mentioned, if you come here from the reverse section of side of the thing, you're not going to be taking cold damage. As opposed to in this room, for example, you will, because it is a normal cold room, but everywhere else you wouldn't be taking damage. It's just one of those interesting decisions from Mercury.
Ooh,
Justin?
oh,
Or Scotty?
Scotty
is a gamer?
Okay, so I think it's really important to talk about how hard that was. That connection out of that morph tunnel is insanely hard. You have to do a morph ball jump during the load.
Yeah, that jump is insanely difficult to grab. Like, it's actually, like Hobbit mentioned, that is extraordinarily difficult to do, even for the runners who are like well seasoned in the category and movement and know what they're doing. So great job, Scotty. Yeah.
And you may notice there's a little gap near this door that Scotty's about to go through. If you go down there, you just die. Because there's actually supposed to be some ice there, but because we skipped breaking that blob in Artaria 1, it never can freeze over. However, the kill plane is still there.
Again, interesting decisions made from Mercury's team.
Truly.
Justin, meanwhile, coming up on this red Chozo fight.
Yep, and once he gets through the fight, he'll get to go through the Frozen Artaria Speedway himself, a well-known nickname for this area.
And you'll see again, as Scotty is being a gamer, you'll see here Justin was mashing through the fight. The mashing through the boss fights again with that uncapped fire rate that Mercury's team decided to allow. It really does shred a lot of these bosses.
Yeah, the damage that Plasma and Wave Beam do to pretty much everything is nuts.
Scotty is heading to Cataris now, like I mentioned. There's a quote-unquote unusually powerful X.
Oh!
Justin is also a gamer?
Yo, Ed, where are you at, bro? This is your content.
I need to I need to visit South Carolina because I need to have some of the food that Justin has because that's
where he gets his power.
Yeah.
That was super
impressive.
impressive. We don't need to worry about that. There's none here.
So Scotty's going to go through this boss fight right now. We call this boss Z57. It's actually a really fun boss. Personally, it's one of my favorite bosses in the game casually. In the run, you're utilizing a lot of these charge missile combos. And again, now that you have Plasma Beam, Diffusion Beam with the ice missiles, ice super missiles, you're without Wave Beam doing the most damage that you possibly can do. Unfortunately, Scotty starts the fight off with some pretty bad RNG.
Double Claw? Okay,
Don't
good.
say that.
Doesn't get Double Claw though, yeah. This boss is interesting because this is one of the bosses that is normally skipped in any percent, but is seen in this category as well as in all bosses.
Yep.
And you'll see how quickly he melted Z57 off of the charge missiles with Plasma Beam Ice Supers. So it's a very important combo of weaponry. And the fact that,
doing the thing.
Oh, wow, he is in fact doing the thing. Hold on, Scotty is cooking.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have spin boost here, so you can only jump over the 2 high, but that's okay. You get this giant gap between the two highs, and then Z57 sticks his face on. You basically get to face smack him.
Yeah, really, really great fight.
Fun fact, that Shine Spark will always kill, including if it's before the Flappy Bird segment.
Yeah,
So
shout outs to Unrestricted.
yeah, you get to just one-shot him in some categories.
But all of this basically is a long-winded way to restore the planet. Like now Cataris is basically back to functioning. The planet's no longer freezing. So now that Artaria and Cataris, to an extent, are not frozen anymore, you're able to return to Artaria with this blue teleport, which is, interestingly enough, the longest teleporter in the game. Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of dumb. But with this, teleport back to Artaria for the screw attack, and as Justin is fighting Z57, another great time for some donations.
You got it. I got $10 from E with the message, energy tank acquired.
Based.
$200 from DKY, 100 to save the animals, 100 to SM64 drum percent. Also, E? And just an update on those incentives, Super Mario 64 drum percent is at $13,000 out of $100,000 needed to unlock that run later today. And for the bid war, Save the Animals is winning by about $900, but still plenty of time to donate for that. And we have $10 from Metroid Crime saying, had to donate during my favorite Metroid game. Best of luck to the runners.
So you'll see that Scotty, once again being an Omega gamer, got a first try ledge warp. So a ledge warp is something that we can do by jumping and,
Oh, in the toilet.
Yeah, right. Jumping and morphing on top of a ledge at the same time. Doing that stores Samus's position as long as you do not unmorph. If you unmorph once you have a ledge warp, in the same direction that you stored the warp, you'll be able to warp, I guess, back to the stored position. So that we utilize that in Hundo right here. Unfortunately, it's the only ledge warp in the run, but we utilize that in this section of the game right here in order to skip going around the section where we got the screw attack, and it saves about 20 seconds.
Yeah. And it's technically a frame perfect trick, but the timing is extremely consistent.
Yeah,
so you can get it down
lenient.
pretty good.
Despite being frame perfect, it is pretty lenient. Gonna see some more pretty cool speed tech from Scotty here.
And he freaking nails it every time,
Really does,
man.
yeah. Meanwhile, Justin's gonna be attempting this ledge warp right now. Gets its second try. Again, it's frame perfect, but it's very lenient.
Mm-hmm. And it has that nice visual cue where you kind of pop over the ledge a little.
Yeah. By the way. So again, Justin will unmorph in the same direction that he stored it, and he will warp back to his position.
Yeah, and you do have to be in the air as well. I think that's worth noting.
Yeah.
You have to jump, so. Oop, okay.
So,
okay.
We're grabbing some of these items right now. This is kind of a smaller cleanup section, but we're grabbing some of these items in Upper Artaria right now, because in the standard Artaria cleanup, these are way too far out of the way in order to grab efficiently during cleanup.
Oh my God, that was so close. I would have died there. So if you slide into this room without jumping, there's a possible chance you will die 80% of the time.
Oh, do you clip into the ground?
Yes.
That is so funny and awful at the same time.
What a great video game that Mercury Steam gave us. But yeah, in these next two small cleanup sections, because again, we're going to do the same thing in Cataris right now, another great time for some donations.
Okay, there's so much hype for all the runs that are happening today, so we'll try to sprinkle a few in here. We got $25 from Lilypad. Hey guys, I'm so happy to see everyone here on the stage and the couch. I wish I could be there with you all, but I'm overjoyed being able to watch you all on my living room TV. This community is wonderful. Joining this community is the best decision I've ever made, and the friends I've made here changed my life. Good luck, Scotty and Justin. May your Gunzulas be nice.
Oh no.
Golzuna.
Golzunas.
I got you, Scotty says.
We'll see.
And I also have a $1,970 donation from Sean-D04. Saying, is it too early for Pokedex donations? Surely not, since T-Pad is hosting. I am wearing my Umbreon t-shirt today, by the way. I first found GDQ with AGDQ 2014, and the Super Metroid and Metroid Zero Mission runs from that marathon are still two of my favorite GDQ runs of all time. So it is fitting that I donate during the Metroid Dread run this year to celebrate my 10 years of watching GDQ. I'm donating for 10 of my favorite Pokemon, Umbreon.
Nice.
Thank you so much for that incredible donation. And I'll just say on the side here, we have that bid war for naming Shen and Chris's trainer names, so you could probably put a couple of those bucks to that, right?
So one of the donations that was just read mentioned Golzuna, which is pretty infamously known in the Dread community as the most reset of reset points in this run. And Scotty is going to be going up to this boss right now. So this boss is ideally done in 4 Shine Sparks. But I'll let this fight take it away.
2.
Ooh. Again.
Okay, but he has a chance to recover because Golzuna, he's got hands.
Oh, that was
another
close with
chance,
the pause
though.
buffers.
We
Yeah,
got another chance.
Again, this is why this fight is kind of really bad and weird.
Oh well.
Yeah. Again, ideally, what Scotty was trying to do with the pause buffers was store another spark to Golzuna's only weak point at once it's actually Golzuna is the little section on its back.
It's actually its face.
Face, I guess. Yeah, technically. Where you're able to spark. Insta-spark those into it, and then spark into the Core X and grab the charge, the cross bombs. Again, massive reset point in the Dread runs, and Golzuna, and has killed more runs than probably any boss combined, other than maybe Corpius.
And as a fitting reward from a notorious boss, is a very notorious item for just not working. Sometimes you just don't get a cross bomb. The game has a little click that it does when you arm your crossbomb in Morph Ball, and sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's really weird. Crossbombs, again, the item is kind of a meme at this point in the community, but we'll see Justin right now go for his Golzuna fight.
I hate that spawn. Okay, good.
I've seen him say I hate that spawn and then nail it 3 times in a row, so that just goes to show you how good he is.
We got it.
We got it.
Yep, that's a 4 spark.
And then you're just able to insta-spark into the Core X. Great job, Justin.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Quick trip through Hanubia, which is the criteria of Metroid Dread. Quick stop through Hanubia just to head back to Ferenia. At this point, we're nearing the end of the game, quote unquote, before entering cleanup. So just a few quick more items to grab before entering, before entering cleanup.
Yeah.
Nope.
As a further application of pseudo wave beam, you can see cross bombs don't work. You can actually pseudo with grapple as well. This allows you to pull grapple blocks from behind, like Scotty just demonstrated, which allows you to skip some slow movement out of Hanubia.
Yeah, nice manipulation too with the jump in order to stop the. I don't necessarily know what the names of them are. I call them eye doors, even though they're not necessarily eye doors.
Yeah, the little worm.
Yeah, the little worm. Ordinarily, you'd have to, if you missed the manipulation, you have to screw attack onto it. It's the only thing that kills it other than ice missiles, but obviously ice missiles are slow. So entering Ferenia now. This is now Upper Ferenia. This is the section of the game where we originally saw the purple Emmy. I mentioned it already. The purple Emmy in this section is blind. To compensate for that, it has the longest section, or the longest radius of where it can see you. The thing with this, though, is because it's blind, it doesn't always see you, even if it sees you. So a lot of the times we're able to utilize a lot of our ledge jumps and mantling in order to efficiently move through Ferenia, in order to grab the storm missiles, which are coming up, along with actually movement to the wave beam itself.
Yeah, and you see Scotty demonstrating as well the dev-intended shortcut to space jump using the spark and the cross bombs in order to get up into that that little hole in the ceiling. What was that?
Scotty, is your controller on fire, my guy? You gotta calm down a little bit.
I've never seen that
I've
before.
never seen that either, and like I'm a hundo runner like primarily, and I've never seen that. Ordinarily, you store the spark and just spark up, but Scotty's just built different.
And I think it's worth noting that Scotty found a lot of the speed tech that's used in hundo, especially in cleanup. So, you know, this is his classroom essentially.
Yeah, literally.
Ooh, I like that strat from
Very
Justin.
nice, Justin.
Making use of the diffusion shot to knock out a couple of blocks so that way he can just go right in and spark up. Very efficient.
Ooh, yeah, tough luck, Scotty. That is interesting that it didn't work.
Oh, did he miss the frozen enemy?
No, he got it. It's just the enemy didn't really, like, it was slightly
Too high?
yeah.
Got it.
Slightly too low.
Oh, it was too low,
I
got
was
it.
running into it, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Thanks for the correction. E?
E? Eh. So again, a lot of this movement is pretty difficult because again, we're now entering the zone with the wave Emmy, which is finally active once again. So a lot of this movement again is going to be dependent on where the Emmy is. Great job, Scotty. That is a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, you essentially just dupe the purple Emmy and walk right past him.
Yeah, again, the protocol that you need to be following when you enter these sections, you basically need to be playing chess with the Emmys. Like, you need to be like 1 or 2 steps ahead, depending on what you see as soon as you enter the Emmy zones. So for instance, Scotty entered this Emmy zone and you saw the area kind of honeycomb like it just did immediately. So that means that the Emmy is immediately to your right. So you need to be prepared to either jump over it or move around it, kind of a thing.
I did not know that.
Yep. Oh, Justin hits the frozen Emmy speed keep.
Oh, man.
No, I cursed him. I'm so sorry.
We'll have
Look
to
what
talk
you've done.
after this.
Either way, but getting the backup just as Scotty did, and Scotty, unfortunately not getting the quickest SQ kill, but still making it pretty fast.
Still gonna get a 2-cycle. Yeah, SQ, again, for the casual Metroid Dread enjoyers and who have played the game casually, kind of is one of those bosses that is another very steep difficulty point, and a lot of it is because it's throwing the cross missiles at you, or storm missiles at you, I should say. So a lot of that is like dependent on what's going on and like how do I dodge this, and it's pretty easy to just learn E. It's pretty easy to develop a cycle for it and learn any. There's a couple of different methods you can do for a quick kill in that section, but Scotty ended up doing an attempt at one of the quickest ones, but wasn't able to fully get the Hongo jumps off of it.
Yeah, it's a very fine positioning for sure. But you essentially just, oh no, getting scammed by storm missiles.
Storm missiles. That's never happened before.
Never, absolutely never. They do work better than seeker missiles, but you know, sometimes they have their shortcomings. All right, so Justin going to engage in some pest control himself, swatting the bug. E. Ooh, and he got it. So he's gonna bounce on him 6 times, and then just 1, 2.
Oh, you had to do that, didn't you? Oh well.
Yeah.
2-cycle.
So what you see the runners referring to as 2-cycle is while the X core is forming and it's still like
you're
not
not
colored yet, It doesn't have any iframes, so you can kind of hit it with like a 1-2 screw attack to 2 cycle it instead of 3.
Yeah, so a lot of this is just movement up until we hit the wave beam central unit, so we have time for 1 or 2 donations.
Yep.
And I've got just that. We've got $50 from Adam saying this goes towards saving the only animal that matters, Ravenbeak. And,
Wow.
and $10 from Odin Frost that says, glad to see the best Metroid game getting a 100% showcase. And in the words of the glorious Ravenbeak,
So you see Justin got spotted by the Emmy there, but fortunately, because his movement was so quick and he got up to the top, it's patrol reset, so he can just walk straight through the door.
But something I also want to mention about that being spot, you'll notice that it took a little longer for him, it took him a little longer to be spotted, as normally the other Emmys would, you enter the field of vision and they immediately go, okay, I'm now in pursuit mode. That one took a little bit longer because, again, it's blind. So it'll see you and then, I guess, kind of process that it saw you.
Yeah, and because we have so many items at this point, the Ferenia CU is just a 2-hit. A Shine Spark pops the shell, as we saw in Gavarin, and then a Screw Attack will just one-shot the brain.
So something that Scotty's about to start doing is the purple wave beam kill, or purple Emmy kill, which gets the wave beam. This kill, similarly to the Altaria one, is another plant. It's a significantly harder plant though, where it needs, you can only miss like 6 shots like maximum, and this kill is, again, you need to be very, very precise with your shots on this, otherwise you're not going to be able to get the kill.
Yeah, and we do see Scotty mashing through it. This gives him a lot of leeway. He's going to get a slide under here, very, very nice. That mashing, like I said, doesn't, oh no!
Wait a minute, what?
What?
Oh no!
This game is great, what can I say?
It's crazy.
What a great game.
Usually that charge shot from the Omega Cannon is pretty lenient.
Especially on this Emmy specifically, yeah. So, again, the runners were still about a minute ahead, but with that death, Justin's entering the CU fight now. Gonna be right on his tail.
Wow.
Entering cleanup, which again, one of the most important movement-intensive sections of the entire run. So.
Yep. All right, so Scotty opting to focus on aim this time. I imagine going to take a jump over, yep. And now the Emmy's face shield should be able to pop, and you should be able to pop it in the face. Bam.
Nice.
Yeah, good kill.
Yeah, great comeback.
Wish me luck.
Yeah, meanwhile, Justin is going to be entering his kill right now.
And I can only understate how difficult this is. This is a maximum focus.
Yeah, again, this is a very precise bit of shots that are required to be shot.
You know what, audience? I'm going for it. We got it.
He got it.
Unbelievably based. He is gaming.
Huge. A great first try wave beam kill from Justin. And just like that, we're about a cutscene apart.
Yeah, literally a cutscene apart. At this point, this does mark the start of cleanup. So as a cleanup enjoyer, natural hundo enthusiast, the order that we do cleanup in is we stop in Hanubia really quick to grab power bombs. And you'll notice that we did grab 2 power bomb tanks before grabbing the main power bomb. The main power bomb gives us two PBs, and so when we get it, we have 4 power bombs.
Yep.
We immediately start using those. So I do want to also kind of like, if you are sensitive to heavy flash and lights, cleanup is going to feature power bombs extensively. So kind of just be wary about that. But also, the order that we do cleanup in, we go to Hanubia and we grab power bombs, then we stop back in Ferenia. So we're going to be entering Ferenia again in about 5 minutes to clean up Ferenia. We take the teleporter to Berenia, the elevator to Altaria, the elevator again to Cataris, which is commonly known as the most difficult section of cleanup in the game. From Cataris, we take the elevator to Dairin, then from Dairin, go to Gavarin. But we're not cleaning up Gavarin just yet. We're going actually from Gavarin, we're heading to Elune. And then from Elune, clean up Gavarin, go back to Hanubia, and end the game. Cleanup, if you're really good at it, takes about little less than half an hour. So we're definitely in the big end game sections now.
And you see Scotty leveraging how much health he has, because this is 100%, to essentially just stand inside the soldier to avoid the shield and allow him to continue mashing through it.
You'll notice now too that rather than blasting through the Emmy fights, Samus actually kind of absorbed it. So that's kind of finally, like, game story-wise, lore-wise, Samus is fully awakening her Metroid powers that she received from her Metroid vaccine prior to the start of Metroid Fusion. Sorry, Scotty, Metroid Fusion. Oh my goodness. But she's now fully activating those powers given to her from her Metroid baby. So she's now kind of fully awakening herself as part Metroid, and is now going to be able to use those powers to absorb the Chozo soldiers, since Metroids are the main predators of the X parasites, and these soldiers are X parasites. So moving forward, that's going to be a pretty interesting way to take out those soldiers.
And as a nice little gameplay benefit, doing the Metroid cutscene where she kind of absorbs the X soldiers, she gets a full refill.
Full refill, yep.
And you see them rolling their power bombs before they go through the door. If you drop it and then go through the door, it'll still blow up whatever's in the preceding room.
But the explosion radius will follow you into the next room. Yeah, very, very important to note, because we're going to be utilizing that a lot in cleanup with our power bombs.
This is just a pretty much movement section, so do we want to get a couple donations in?
Yeah, up to this point, we have time for 3 or 4.
Okay, can do. $10 from Lucina that says, love to see Hundo gamed so quick. Amazing run so far. I'm still looking for your plasma hobbit. I'll get you out of BK eventually.
Please, I need it so badly. We started a multi-world like 4 days ago, and I've been able to go nowhere.
You're still BK'd?
Absolutely.
All right, well, we'll get that fixed soon. $25 from the back couch chairs. Can you go back and fight Dragaga? I think it has the wide couch.
Okay.
And I have, oh, it just left my screen here. Where is it? $10 from Nest Paints that says, thank you for running such an amazing event. I teach middle school band and get to stay home watching AGDQ on a snow day today, donating to help reach the Drum Percent Mario 64 run. So cool to see a school band experience turned into such a unique skill.
Nice farm, Justin. Thank you. So a very important thing to note in cleanup, again, I mentioned that we're going to be blowing up a ton of things and utilizing a lot of power bombs. By far, one of the most important aspects of cleanup is power bomb preservation. So there are backup strats in case you are not able to blow things up the way that you want to. But conserving your power bombs, maybe taking a little quick refill like you see Justin doing right here to ensure that he has max power bombs heading into the next section is very, very important, because the next section, Berenia's cleanup, is just awful without power bombs. So by making sure that he has max power bombs, he's currently sitting at 7 max, he's basically ensuring that he has a next to flawless Berenia.
Yeah. There's a boss fight in Berenia that is much, much slower if you don't have any. So.
Oh, significantly. Yeah, because you have to fight it normally, which normally is just mashing. But the boss that Hobbit is referring to is another twin robot soldier fight. The twins here die with a power bomb.
Yeah, just one.
Just one. One, by the way. So really good movement from Scotty here. As he makes his way down into the lower sections of Berenia.
Yeah, and this is the section actually that we skipped by doing early gravity earlier. However, now that we have the gravity suit, we can actually move through the water freely, which means that this section is not a complete pain. There's also this item here that requires the gravity suit to get within NMG, so it's just not worth coming here until you have it.
Yeah, again, I want to really stress to the point now, especially now that the runners have all of their speed booster, flash shifting, they have their gravity suit. Everything that they're doing, for the most part, I mean, mistakes happen. Everything that they are doing is 100% intentional, and like very, very thoroughly practiced. The movement here obviously is very, very impressive. Very, very impressive, but extraordinarily difficult. Again, I really love cleanup in this game, and it really is, this leading up to it is a movement clinic of this game. It's so good to do like efficiently.
Ooh, great ball spark from Justin. Do we want to get another couple donations in while they're just cleaning up Barenia here?
We have time for 2.
Absolutely. Keep those E's coming. $250 from Alan that says, I had to donate during my favorite video game series, Metroid. Thank you for an incredible week of speedruns. Despite the winter weather, this is the best week of the year. And $100 from Sazax, had to donate during Metroid Dread. The last time the game was on GDQ, it got me intrigued in the series, and now that we're back, I've played all the Prime games, Zero Mission, and Dread. My favorite part was when Metroid said, E.
That's weird.
That was very strange.
Your controller died?
It says that it has battery.
Fascinating.
I charged it last night.
Still got time for more?
One more.
Okay. $100 from Puttywink that says, good luck, JustNZane. So, if I may, I'm gonna kind of like nerd out with the hundo section right here. This is a section in Artaria's cleanup that I like to call a warm-up. The speed keeps that you'll be seeing here are very extensive and kind of a precursor to what you'll be seeing in Cataris. The Artaria movement here, again, now that you have all of the items that you need in order to move efficiently through the area, you can ball spark, spark jump, all of that kind of stuff. Artaria, at least to me, is very much a warm-up. If your hands are not warmed up, if your mind isn't warmed up, this is a great way to get it set up for Cataris because of how extraordinarily difficult Cataris's cleanup can be. So you'll be seeing a lot of very high intense movement sections here. Again, power bomb drops galore. But again, a lot of this is going to be a real big warm-up section, if you will, for the movement that you'll be seeing in about 3 or 4 minutes in Cataris.
Yeah, and I know you've essentially dubbed it the big 3 keeps in Cataris. That's really what they're practicing for, warming up for.
Yeah, so the big 3, and I'll touch on them when we get there, but the big 3 that I personally call the big 3 in Cataris are E? Question mark? That's interesting. The big 3 that I consider, actually, we're making the race a little interesting. But the big 3 that I call the big 3 for a reason, they're 3 very long and extraordinarily difficult speed keeps, all in Cataris, all within a minute and a half of each other. And in order to do them efficiently, you need to be mentally equipped. So so we'll touch more on that when we get into Cataris, but right now, this is just, again, very efficient movement. We're about to see come up onto one of the big speed keeps here in Artaria.
Yeah, and something that I think is important to note, the power bomb count between both players is very different right now.
Yeah, and again, so Scotty's gonna have to be either take a load or take a refill somewhere, or hope for pray to RNG.
So that's a speed keep found by top runner Noyazaki. Shout outs to him. He is incredible at this game, and it essentially allows you to do a.
Gotta love wall kicks.
Yeah.
It allows you to do a true speed keep into that little gap where that item is.
Where am I going?
Speaking of Noya, really quickly, I just want to give a huge shout out to our Japanese runners for Metroid Dread. So Noyazaki, Bane, Kola, all of the Japanese runners for Dread. I want to give a huge shout outs to them because they are obviously incredible runners and are all very very in the lab, at all points. So big shout outs to those runners.
Yeah, I mean, Bane ran unrestricted blindfolded on a Japanese stream, so
yeah,
truly incredible players.
Again, you'll see Justin's doing a very big long speed keep as he actually takes the lead in this race. So we're actually coming up on again, very difficult speed keeps that these runners are doing, and yeah, we're making our way.
Oh my God, they are neck
and neck.
This is crazy, oh my gosh. And this just goes to show you that even with, a mistake here and there at the beginning, 100%'s a long run.
Wow, what?
skill issue.
So, sparking through the known Jaffe room, for those of you who know, you know.
Tech W. So again, Scotty in the middle of a very long, difficult keep. Again, kind of a warm-up to the keeps that we'll be seeing in Cataris. Again, this is the best that the speed booster has ever looked.
It's truly incredible. I mean, you can kind of work around corners, wall jump, more.
Get to press A, please.
It's everything.
All right, Cataris cleanup time. This section, done well, first try, whatever you want to call it, takes 5.5 minutes. A lot of the areas in Cataris that you go through when you are originally coming through this section, you can't grab. You don't have the ability, the equipment to grab it. You're only currently sitting at, I believe, a 21% item in Cataris right now, but over the next 5.5 minutes, you will be leaving with 100%, and again, over some of the most satisfying movement, in my opinion, in the entire run.
Yeah, I think the speed booster movement is really what makes this game special, and Hundo really capitalizes on it.
Absolutely. Scotty in the midst of one of these keeps.
Ooh.
Pretty good one. Justin able to take it all the way through. Very nice.
Oh, taking a hit from the robot on the way out.
Unintended damage boost,
yeah,
for sure. This section for this E part that we're grabbing, E, by the way. Preemptive E.
E?
E. Really difficult, because out of a load right there, you do have to be very quick on your hands in order to jump off of that wall before doing another ball spark and a spark jump right here.
Yeah, and that, I mean, it's just perfectly spaced to be able to just flash right out of the room.
I don't have a power bomb.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And here it is, power bomb diff.
This is one of those sections that, again, is very powerbomb intensive, especially in Cataris. So Scotty's going to be getting 1, but again, Justin has 9. So
Yeah.
Scotty, we talked about refills, buddy.
I did take a refill, just not the same one you did.
And you may notice whenever they lay power bombs, they might lay a cross bomb with it. The cross bomb is really good at giving you a little boost in momentum while you're in morph ball, since the average roll speed is pretty slow. It honestly, like, the acceleration you get over longer tunnels is really funny looking.
So coming up, this is one of the first of what I call the big 3 keeps. This is going to be grabbing a missile that is on the way to the elevator to Dyren 1, or Dyren in general. This is, again, the first of the big 3. So we'll see if Justin can get this.
Okay, we'll go back.
Scotty opting for a safer version of it.
Okay, but they're in there?
Ooh, very good from both runners.
That was a great recovery, Scotty.
And not a moment.
I want that. There we go.
not even a short break after. Here's keep number 2.
This has killed so many runs.
Great job, Justin.
Yeah, I can't understand how easy it is to act.
Scotty doesn't get it. What?
I stored it on this ledge in the room to the right. So I
my
didn't have time.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, this, I mean, it's really easy in a moment like this to lose spark charge to either like climbing in to a ledge and sparking automatically, or just random differences. And there's a big cross bomb boost there. You just teleport across the tunnel.
So Justin is now, and with Scotty very shortly on his tails, Justin is now preparing for their speed keep number 3, which is, in my opinion, the most difficult speed keep in the run, found none other by Scotty himself. So this keep is going to be a... I'll let Justin do it. I'll let him take it away.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna need some help. Just say get in there.
Get in there. Yeah, just get in there.
We're gaming.
Absolutely, base. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Great work, Justin. That was so impressive.
Meanwhile, Scotty.
Oh no, getting scammed by that ball tunnel. That load zone is really tricky.
I owe that all to the chat and to the audience. Thank you.
Nice, good job, Scotty.
Scotty also getting in there.
Yeah, that keep is, again, very, very precise, very difficult, relies on jumping at very appropriate times in order to not lose your speed booster, but also transitioning your jump with your speed booster through a door, through a tunnel. So very difficult keep. Great job from both runners getting it.
Yeah, and even taking it in 2 parts, like, super impressive.
So those are the big 3, and they're why Cataris is most commonly referred to as the most difficult section of cleanup. Both runners absolutely nailing the tricks, so great job on both of them.
Yeah, they're giving a great show. I mean, it is truly just 2 awesome runs. And having to dip back into Kraid's room into what we call the tomato soup, because that's certainly not lava, in order to get a few items.
What are you talking about? He takes damage in it.
What? Are you sure?
No. I don't know anything.
Me either.
So 100% now in Cataris. We'll be entering this cleanup zone in Dyren now. We have time for 2 donations.
Okay, we got $50 from Sam Leinhart that says, I did 100% in this game, and seeing you all blow through it in 2 hours is awe-inspiring. Awe-inspiring. What I'm really looking forward to is the Pokemon Crystal Run next. Childhood game, full item randomizer with Chrism and Shen. That sounds like so much fun. Let's have them switch their names for the run. And I'm actually looking at the bid war on that. Shen is in, well, Chris's name is Shen is 3rd, and Shen's name being Chris is 4th. But it's all pretty close. And if you want to get your donations in, make sure to do that now, because that run is coming up next. And there's also $50 from Zero Siren. Yo, Justin, Scotty, good luck on the race. Glad I could catch it.
So, so coming up right now, we're going to be entering another not difficult, but pretty
All right, this is for y'all.
speed keep.
This is very tight. Got it.
Good job, Justin. Yeah, that keep is very, very precise. Like Hobbit mentioned earlier, you have about 5 seconds with your speed booster once you store a spark. And that is very much pushing the limits of that 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, you are like right at the end of the timer. But these guys are so smooth. Oh, getting the cutscene. I've never seen that before.
Me neither.
That's new. I've now seen it all.
GDQ, where new things happen.
We're learning new things about this game every day. Another difficult speed keep right here. You'll notice that we ball sparked up here earlier, but Justin is jumping up it. That trigger that Scotty ended up getting is still there.
Yeah, and for any cutscene sparks that are in the game, the trigger is always like basically right on the ground.
Yeah, you'll be seeing one more of those actually in the escape as well. One more pretty difficult speed keep coming along in to grab 3 items at the end of Dyren right here that Justin's gonna pull off right now. Pretty annoying room, all things considered, but a room that is.
Oh my god!
What a great item! Thank you, Mercury team.
That was incredible.
Okay,
there we go.
You.
Pretty annoying room. This one and the next that Justin's heading to, but yeah.
Yeah, luckily we have the gravity suit here, so the cold room will not damage us at all. So you can just kind of casually make your way in here.
Also, shout outs to that frozen tunnel behind you. If you're coming here with the dark room, it's pretty, kind of low-key looks like Dragon, like a stored Dragon, which is pretty interesting if you think about it.
Yeah, there's
like
a lot of nice little background objects.
Yeah, like if Kraid's here, like is Dragon here, is Fantoon here, potentially?
Maybe.
So just a nice touch from Mercury's team.
Both guys nailing the cold room keep. That's another tricky spark charge keep.
Yeah, very, very difficult. But 100% now in Dyren. We're gonna head to Gavarin, but again, we're not cleaning Gavarin up right now. We're heading back to Aloon, just there's 4 items in Aloon. We grabbed the first 2 in our first trip when we released the X. We're now grabbing a power bomb tank, the last power bomb tank of the run, and a missile expansion that we weren't able to grab. I do want to, again, preface when we're heading into Aloon, if you are sensitive to flash and lights from the power bombs, probably might look away for a little bit.
They're everywhere.
Because this section of Aloon is power bomb central, like non-stop power bomb drop-ins. So Just a forewarning.
I've got a donation if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah, of course.
We've got a $1,000 donation from Cho.
Amazing.
And it reads, my family has been hit by cancer over the years. I am donating for the Drum % Run incentive to help beat cancer like CZR will beat this run, hopefully.
Outstanding.
Excellent.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I planted a bomb.
Another cool speed heap coming up right here. Good store.
Oh, he's got it.
He's a gamer? He's gaming?
Rated G?
Oh my god, stop him?
All right, Scotty's going to get it for sure. This is his keep.
Yeah, like we mentioned before, Scotty discovered a lot of these speed booster techs, and as a result, extremely prolific at them.
Yeah. Nice CBS though, Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, very entertaining race so far. Runners are being separated by 10 or so seconds right now.
Yeah, it's truly anyone's game.
Bye, little Will friend. Sorry.
All right, again, we're heading into Elune now, so if you are sensitive to flashing lights, this would be a good time to look away for about a minute or two.
So a little difference in the strats here. Scotty opting to take that missile tank now instead of on the way back.
It's a bold strategy, Con. We'll see if it works out for him.
Knowing Scotty, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, there's again, a lot of power bomb drops here, and they are all mandatory, to be honest. Like, you could just, like, bomb through them normally, but because of the way that the power bomb will follow you into the next room, that's why it's kind of power bomb central. It's just a ridiculous amount of time saved to be dropping a ton of power bombs. During this section, actually, because again, it's just dropping a bunch of power bombs, this will be another good time for some donations.
For sure.
We've got a $500 donation from Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous.
And it says, shout out to the Dread team for opting to give Samus just a single spoken line in the entire game and have it be in Chozo.
Absolutely,
So cool.
Absolutely.
And a $12 donation from Grimion, donating $1 for each full energy tank at the end. We
got time for one or two more?
Let's go with $50 from Captain Crocs. I wanted to donate yesterday during my birthday, but we'll take a run from my favorite series. Let's get all those E's.
Your battery's
Battery depleted.
Thanks.
You're welcome, buddy.
Good guy, JustNZane.
Yeah.
Sounds like I got to fill the time with another donation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it. There's battery in here.
This is $100 from Justin. As another Justin, I wanted to donate just in time for this run, just in case I didn't get this in.
Not my bag.
Well, looks like I still got to
got
keep
you.
going.
Here you go.
$50 from San Aries, homesick from work and couldn't have better entertainment. Loving the skill on display by these Dread runners. I got a $250 donation from Jack Tarok. No comment, but thank you very much for that great donation. And $100 from Jake. It would be dreadful if we didn't get to see the Super Mario 64 bonus game. Totally agree. $50 from Boopa Scoopa. Let's get this Metroid bread to beat cancer. Loving the race. These runners are crushing it. $25 from Foxtail. I'm happy seeing more Metroid, especially since Fusion was the first game I ever beat as a kid on my own, so the Metroid series holds a special place in my heart. Thank you for running this event as usual, and good luck to the runners. Let's see that Super Mario 64 drum percent. Let's see if I can catch up on some community ones. We got $30 from Manager. I came here to watch a riveting golf match, and I wasn't disappointed. Slow golf clap to Scotty and Justin for staying on par. So, slow golf clap. And $25 from Edinolium. No true link, but you know what? You're getting the $25 either way. I forgot to mention it before, but my donos have been to save the frames and not the animals.
Dang.
At a point of clarification, I only discovered that particular spark bounce and not the trick in general. Amazing run so far. Keep crushing it, guys. I still have a bank of donations because they have been coming in so furiously all run long, and this has been an incredible run. I know we're getting so close to the end here. $25 from Ninja Kid. Not only has Metroid Dread done the series justice in its execution, but the movement tech showcased by the runners in this race is absolutely mind-blowing. I'm loving every minute. This is another fantastic AGDQ unfolding as we speak. $100 from Aegisworn had to donate during my favorite speed game of all time. Also, save the frames, kill the animals. $25 from Nailbine. Thanks as always for the incredible runs. Had to donate during my favorite series. Go runners, go! And also, can we get a round of applause for the sportsmanship for the? Nothing's worse than being like my controller disconnected and just having your opponent just keep going. No, this is incredible. $25 from Bella Moli. Love Metroid Dread. Great to see it at AGDQ. Normally I'd say save the animals, but they're doing pretty well already. So this goes to SM64. Curious about the use of drums as a controller. So we're gonna give the Metroid Dreads a couple minutes to solve the controller issues. The race is not done yet. In fact, it's in the final stage, so don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. We're just gonna give them a couple minutes here to get that set back up. $5 from Sonic Orochi. What an amazing race. Let's go. $25 from Ravenbeak. Caw. $50 from Mr. Funkmaster. Mario 64 drum percent. That sounds just crazy enough to work. Let's make that happen. And that incentive continues to grow and grow. We are past $18,000. It is a $100,000 donation to get that bonus game added to the schedule. And we've been doing a great job so far, but still a ways to go. I know we can do it, Twitch chat. Hey, maybe we can get some kind of donation train going. I know we've had a few of these throughout the event, isn't that right? $100 from Hodgepodge Homunculus. Loving the camaraderie between the runners to pause while solving technical difficulties. Absolutely, I agree. $10 from Justine. As a Justine, just gotta join the Justin E donations. Let's get that SM64 drum percent. There's also a $250 donation from Gil. No comment provided, but still an incredibly generous donation. Thank you so much. $50 from BitDragon. All of today's runs have been amazing. I can't wait for the Super Mario 64 drum percent. There's a lot coming in for this drum percent. Sounds like it might be something pretty hype that we'll see later today. How about another $10 from Lily Dark Materials? Drum percent sounds too cool to not to donate. Let's hit that incentive. $50 from Itzy. Quite simply says, save the animals. Let's take a look at our bid war over here. Save the Animals is currently in the lead by a little over $1,000, $1622 to $1601. There are some other bid wars that are available right now. The next run is the Pokemon Crystal run, and if you know anything about Pokemon games, you get to name the trainers. And in this one, it's going to be the trainers specifically. So Shen and Chris are going to have to name their characters, and I know there's been a push to name them the opposite. So Chris will be Shen and Shen will be Chris. But those are only 3rd and 4th place respectively. So you got to get those donations in now if you want to snipe that and put it back on top. Right now, Chris's trainer name would be My Dude, but Luame is just behind it by only $15. And Shen's trainer name is currently Chanji DE, and that's in the lead by about $125, but second place is Bulba. I wonder if Shen and Bulbasaur have something going on. Maybe there was like an apology written recently. There might be a GDQ emote that is available for the chat, so I think we might be able to put that a little bit higher. If somebody asked me, I would probably put for Shen to be called Bulba. You know, for no reason. We've got $20 from Lauren and Pam watching with my mom right now. She's got cancer. She got cancer when I was 5, but she's okay now and is happy to donate to such a great cause. That is so wonderful to hear. Thank you so much, Lauren, Pam, for your donation. $25 from Never Tank. Love the event. I wish this would be done every month of the year. Let's go fast. And don't forget about hotfix. Yeah, somebody just said that. The hotfix content is available not only year-round, almost every single day on the Games Done Quick Twitch channel. We've got speedrunning content for you, a variety of stuff. There are so many amazing show hosts that do so much great work every single day and every single week to bring you amazing speedruns all the time. And I know there are the 2 big ones every year, but we can always tune in for some amazing speedruns year-round. So thank you. Just know that, hey, tune in for some hotfix content. $50 from Kiefer Skunk. Give those runners an Emmy Award. $10 from Jay Yeen. Congrats to Justin and Scotty on another great showing, and thanks to Mercury Steam for giving our community such a fun and solid game to play with. How about a $250 donation from Gaff Memvar? $100 for each runner's exceptional skill and $50 for the sportsmanship during technical difficulties. Always fun to watch this awesome game, and as always, save the animals. If my math is right, there was just an extra $100 in there somewhere, so incredibly generous donation. Thank you all so much. I've got $50 from Chris. Metroid Dread was my second game I tried to speedrun recently, and I'm so happy to see it at AGDQ. Let's shine spark cancer. $50 from J-Mac. A space pirate's favorite letter may be R. But Samus's favorite letter is E. $10 from Metroid Master. Metroid Master here. I donated during Metroid Prime, so I figured it would be a Metroid crime to not donate during this dread race. Best of luck, Justin, Zane, and Scotty. Y'all gonna destroy this run. $75 from Triforce, $32.50 hype for the MST run later today. Excited to be here in person for my first GDQ. Let's bingo. $50 from Professor Quantum. Shout out to the wonderful staff members that keep GDQ running so smoothly. I agree. They have made this an incredible experience for everyone involved, including myself. I know some in the community know that this is actually my first time hosting at a GDQ. So thank you so much for everyone behind the scenes that has made this such an incredible experience. Absolutely deserving of a round of applause. Thank you so, so, so much. Let's get some donations in towards this drum percent, because there has been a lot. $25 from Schrodinger's Joe. Mario 64 drum percent. I didn't know AGDQ was going to have a concert too. I love concerts. $250 from Viscos. You had me at Metal Influences. Donating for Super Mario 64 drum percent. Let's rock. $50 from Commodore, $50 towards drum percent. Let's make that happen. And a $250 donation from Fifi. No idea what drum percent is, but I need it in my life. Same. I don't even know what button they map to each drum. The toms, the hi-hats, the cymbals, the kick drums, all that is incredible. And if you're curious, the drum percent is at $19,718 out of 100,000, so almost 20% there, but keep those donations coming in, and they have been plentiful, but we still have a ways to go. So even if it's a $5 donation train, it all goes to such a great cause, and you get some great incentives too. So how about that? Let's get a $5 donation train as we are about to start and resume this run, and we are now ready. So controller issues fixed. Let's send it back to Justin and Scotty.
Go.
All right, now that we're back on track, let's just give a little bit of love to Scotty.
Yeah,
I mean,
big. Can we get another round of applause for Scotty? Scotty and Justin, because again, that kind of stuff's always unforeseen. So really unfortunate that it happened. But we are back and continuing on this run. Both runners are making their way out of Elune right now, 100% in this section of the game, and are making their way back to Gavarin to complete this. There's only a couple more items left in Gavarin before heading up to Hanubia to grab one more missile expansion before completing the game.
Yeah, fortunately no hardest boss in the game on the return trip. We've already been through that, so we can just focus on cleanup.
So true, so true.
So I believe Justin's going to be picking up this missile tank here, whereas Scotty will be able to just kind of speed on through this little section while they head up to this upper part of Gavarin with this big room. You can actually freeze those mushrooms to prevent them from retracting, making the platforming significantly easier.
Again, you'll be seeing a lot of these final sections where we're going to bring a power bomb explosion into the other room to follow us to grab this missile tank. And then, again, grabbing this missile that Scotty was able to grab it saves about 2 seconds in this cleanup section. Justin does have to grab it right now.
Yep, but cleans it up no problem, and now he's going to be sparking his way up into what we call the idiot tunnel.
To grab the final energy tank of the run, yes.
Dub that as such, because in any percent you just need to spark up to Golzuna, and if you're a little bit too far back, you go all the way up there and lose a little bit of time.
At this point now, though, we are ready to complete the game. Again, one more missile expansion to grab for the full 100%. There's not going to be a thing that plays like in the Prime games that says congratulations, you have 100%. But come final items, we're going to have 290 missiles. It's 275, but the added 15 missiles from rookie mode makes it 290 missiles, 15 power bombs, and 14 energy tanks. Mm-hmm. E, by the way.
E.
So both runners are coming up to one of the last Chozo soldiers in the run. This is a gold Chozo soldier, golden elite Chozo soldier, whatever. The thing about this soldier is that it absolutely shreds your health if it hits you with one of its abilities. And it's really difficult, especially on the harder difficulties like normal mode and hard mode even. But it should be no problem for the runners here.
Yeah, it's very unique in that instead of doing like flat damage, it does percent health damage. So it can just absolutely chunk you.
Yeah, it's one of the few things that does do it. Again, you're going to be seeing this mash.
Wow, great mash from both players here. And Justin taking the melee cutscene with Scotty very shortly behind.
All right, so that being said, both runners are heading to the final boss of the game, Ravenbeak. Ravenbeak is a very difficult boss casually, and it's broken up into 3 phases. The first phase of this fight is technically you're not doing damage to him. You need to be able to break through what we call the gold armor phase, and to do that, we're going to be utilizing a storm missile plus wave beam mashing in order to pull off what we call gold skip. Because the gold skip, if we're not able to skip the gold section of Ravenbeak's armor, can lose you anywhere between 10 and 35 seconds, depending on RNG. So gold skip is crucial to this fight. And again, after that phase 1, we have phase 2, which is more of a flat DPS section.
Yeah.
Before phase 3, which is another again, flat, raw DPS. So very, very interesting boss fight and a very challenging one at that.
Yeah, luckily in 100% you have so many items and so much health specifically that it's pretty safe to take damage boosts. Scotty slyly going through that one block gap. That was nice.
I gotta put the glasses on for the Raven Beak fight. Let's go.
All right, where did I put mine?
RNG.
Great RNG to start the fight.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna miss the match.
Going for gold skip.
All right, that's a 1-2 mash. And that's a gold skip.
That's a gold skip. Going to phase 2 now.
Scotty not far behind him at all. Ooh, and great RNG for Justin getting the aim at the wall.
Yeah, both runners get gold skip. We're gonna bring Ravenbeak to the left side of the arena here. Bringing Ravenbeak to the left side of the arena basically makes it so that Ravenbeak can only do 1 or 2 attacks at you, and opposed to doing a bunch of other stuff. So that plus their mash weave-in that they're doing, their weave-in missiles in between their wave beam shots, really does make this a fascinating section to go through.
Capture taken.
All right, so no immediate counters, unfortunately. Ooh, Scotty gets one, though.
A counter, goes for the counter.
Yeah, so this counter is faster to take if you will not kill him as a result of the damage you do in the counter cutscene. So if you get it within the first, I believe it's 3 attacks, it's absolutely worth it. He also throws this powerbomb, son. Oh my God, Scotty, that was insane.
Scotty gets a quireless fight.
That was
and
great.
So Justin almost gets it. What I call a quireless fight, where so basically before that da 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 starts off, where a choir. So both runners will now be entering the escape sequence of the game. Time is coming up shortly. And this is going to be a very close finish for both of our runners here.
Yeah, I think this is going to come down to escape speed keeps, essentially.
Yep.
All right, keep an eye on Scotty, because he's really good at these escape speed keeps.
We'll see. They're hard.
Yeah. So this is like kind of a boss fight, but you pretty much just hold line.
It's an interactive cutscene, realistically.
Essentially.
So again, escape is coming up, and time will be as soon as we lose control of Samus once she enters the ship.
Yep.
Can I squeeze in one final donation then?
One final one, yeah.
$10 for PC Cosplay. Hey, Justin and Scotty. Justin, Biggie Cheese sent me to tell you, get the missile you missed earlier. It's Infernia after Quiet Robe. Your community says hi from Discord.
It's required. We didn't miss it.
And you see them laying a powerbomb here. Despite the Mega Laser deleting every block, having the powerbomb blow those bomb blocks up just allows you to get through a little bit faster.
We'll see if Scotty goes for one more speed keep called the Arcandy Spark. He is going for it. Justin is also going for it. Ooh. Both runners attempted the Arc Spark, but unfortunately unsuccessful.
Yeah, that's a really tricky keep found by Arcandy. It allows you to keep all the way into this room here where you can skip the cutscene by jumping up twice.
Oh, wow.
So another speed keep here.
And that is time.
Great run, guys. That was awesome.
Fantastic run from both of you. Oh, man. You'll drain the ship of its energy, by the way.
Oh, no.
On the stream here, we have that this race was 2.2 seconds apart.
Oh my God.
Very close, very
That was
close.
good.
Shout-outs to Justin and Scotty.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, this was a very good race. Again, this is a very fun category for this game, and I encourage everyone to run it. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So
how's it going, Games Done Quick? My name is Ruby Hart, and I have the pleasure and honor to speak with Dr. Ayushi Uberoi. Dr. Ayushi was named the Awesome Games Done Quick Fellow for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, and we spoke to you last year. So thank you so much again for coming back to give us an update on your research.
Thank you so much, Ruby. I'm delighted to talk to this audience. And being an awesome Games Done Quick fellow is the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. Usually our fellowships are so-and-so doctor, professor, grant, or whatever. But this is like the best thing ever. Like all my papers say I'm an awesome Games Done Quick fellow. So I'm recognized as awesome. So this is amazing.
Awesome. Just right on your resume, built in. That's pretty incredible. I feel like a lot of people can't say they have an excuse to work that in there. Now, I was going to say, for the people at home who aren't familiar, you've talked about how the AGDQ fellowship has really changed your life and the course of your career. But what does it actually mean to be a Prevent Cancer Foundation named AGDQ fellow? What has that done for you?
Of course, I'm going to take two parts to answer your question. So the first part is just explaining to the gamers and the charity stream, what exactly does it mean to have a fellowship? So oftentimes scientists are not who work in research, especially in institutes and universities. Our salaries come out of grants. And what is considered, so when salaries come out of grants, that means we cannot pay for the research consumables. But a fellowship allows that a salary can be paid by a different organization, and whatever money could have been used to pay me can go towards research, which is exactly what we imagine, right? That the money is going towards. But fellowship, but the Awesome Games Done Quick Fellowship by Prevent Cancer Foundation was special in many ways. So I'd like to acknowledge that I'm an immigrant scientist. So one of the challenges with postdoctoral scientists, so this is a scientist who has completed their PhD and are working as an apprentice in a lab, hopefully training to become a principal investigator or a main leader scientist themselves. So there are very few opportunity for immigrant scientists in terms of fellowships. And they're basically just about a handful of those fellowships. And Prevent Cancer Foundation is one of those foundations with AGDQ that actually sponsor such awards. And that is what was the most fabulous thing. I can tell you that when I got the fellowship, our lab was like just over the moon about it. So that's the importance of it. And then why is it important in terms of career is many reasons. So one, I actually did my PhD in cancer biology, and I study in a lab that studies skin diseases. But I wanted to bring in cancer biology in my postdoctoral research to figure out what is the role of microbiome in skin cancer. And I think this fellowship awarded me the independence to pursue that kind of a question, because this was specifically for preventing cancer. So these fellowships are extremely important, and I cannot stress how important it has been and how life-changing it has been in that regards.
Yeah, the fact that it didn't just impact you, but your entire laboratory, and you were able to pursue this research is incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm just imagining what that celebration must have been like. And
and it was a really low time in life, because we had like the lockdowns and
this was during pandemic?
Yes, I was awarded the fellowship in 2021 January. So it was like I applied for the fellowship during the lockdown, and we were delighted. If we speak just simple mathematics, so if money from this fellowship came towards sponsoring me, my current advisor whose name is on the door of the lab was able to sponsor someone else. So it means that we can train more people, right? Like the money can be used towards other scientists. So that's how it goes. Like it's a full chain reaction. So it's money for the lab.
That's absolutely incredible. That's changing so many lives, not just with the research you're doing, but within the lab itself. And I know you said last year that, and if I get anything wrong here, please feel free to correct
of course.
me, but Yeah, you were talking about your work when it comes to studying microbiomes in the skin to determine which microbes are helpful and harmful to the body, especially when it comes to UV radiation and cancer treatment, prevention, therapeutics, things like that. So, and I know you said it was a field that didn't have much research as some other types of cancers. So in this past year, what have you been able to do within the lab when it comes to that research?
Absolutely. That's a fantastic question. So one part remains the same from last couple of years, that there's still very few people who are studying this problem in this context.
Okay.
So that still remains a minority of researchers. But what I've been able to do in the last year, especially, has been actually to establish my program. So my own lab's research program. So when I applied for this fellowship, I was a postdoctoral fellow, and now I'm going to be an assistant professor, and there will be an Uberoi lab. And actually, this idea, which was to study effect of UV exposures on skin microbiome, is actually one of the major projects that is going to be studied in my lab. So
incredible.
when I said that Awesome Games didn't quick changed my life, I wasn't just saying it for the sake of it. It's because all of those findings have been translatable in setting up my own research program. And when I went on the job market, which in academia entails that you visit different universities and explain your research vision, a lot of people were very attracted by this whole area of research. And I have now expanded my program that we will not only study UV exposures, but even study environmental carcinogens and how they affect skin. So that, because it's like so intuitive to me, but sometimes people forget it. Like the skin is the most exposed organ, right? So when
it's like our first line of defense when you're really thinking about it, because it's the thing that interfaces with the entire world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And something as simple as when you take the bus, what does your skin come in contact with? Although it's like so obvious to me why that is important to study, we actually don't know what each of those exposures do. So that's why I thought that this is so obvious, yet nobody is studying it. So we're going to study this in different facets. So one aspect is going to be to study how these environmental exposures affect the microbiome. And then one aspect is going to be, can we use that information and actually make therapeutics which can counter-effect the bad effects of those carcinogens? So this whole idea I embraced because I was a Prevent Cancer Foundation fellow, because I always thought of preventative treatments. And I'm actually super excited to have people join my lab, and we're going to study one of these problems in quite a lot of depth.
That's absolutely incredible. The fact that you're adding so much more research into a field that just has this gap. I feel like that's something we really need, especially with how many, I have to imagine the pollutants in the air with the atmosphere as it is now also has to have a huge impact, right?
Absolutely. That's what you outlined. What you just said is actually one of the fellowship grant proposals that I'm currently composing, which is on pollutants and skin microbiome, and to see if we can actually leverage microbiome to counteract the effects. But to me, it is so obvious. But for some reason, there are very few people who are studying these problems, or if they're being studied in a completely different context. And I think all of these problems have become even more important to study now, because with the changes in climate change and like the global pollution levels, I think it's become absolutely imperative to understand these diseases in the full context. So some people call this term the exposome to make it fancy, which means basically the sum total of all exposures that an individual has. And what has been happening in the field has been that people study these questions in silos. Like they'll study one environmental exposure and how it affects one gene. Those are extremely important ways to study these research questions, and we learn a lot. But I think where microbiome researchers are a little different is we take this total approach in which we study the environment as a whole, the whole organism, and then the whole community of microbes. So it's trying to widen the perspective, if I may say so.
Yeah, just looking at how many external factors working on the skin and on the body cause health issues of a million kinds and how to prevent against that. That I feel like that's something that it's kind of stunning to me that there is this gap of research, because that is your first line of defense. You think that'd be the first thing that everyone would be looking at.
I've gotten into some very interesting discussions with individuals, and they're like, oh, that makes sense. Why are we not studying this? And then I'm like, yes, exactly. More people should study this.
Well, from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure many others, thank you for doing this work. And I'm so happy to hear how it has changed your life and will hopefully change the lives of many, many, many others in the future and to come. So Dr. Uberoy, if there's any last thing that you want to say just to the AGDQ community or the Prevent Cancer Foundation community, what would you want to say?
So what I would like to say, especially to the AGDQ charity, is that thank you so much for supporting researchers like me and continue to supporting researchers like me. It takes, I grew up in a small town in India, and I was able to come to the United States, and that's been amazing. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be able to establish my own lab. And I think this would be an opportunity that would benefit any other researcher. So keep the support going. And whatever you contribute, it's being useful for someone's salary, someone's fellowship. And I think that's the most direct way to affect lives positively. So that is one thing. And then the other thing is what I'm extremely amazed by for Prevent Cancer Foundation is the commitment to sponsoring research, which is for preventing cancer. There are a lot of research foundations and research grants that support money for treating cancer, but prevention is something which is underfunded. And I think Prevent Cancer Foundation is doing a phenomenal job. And I hope more applicants apply and you can sponsor even more people. So those are, that's what I'd like to say to the community.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ayushi. Now, everyone, please stick around. We have Pokemon Crystal Randomizer coming up next, which you are not going to want to miss. And if you want to get in more donations, go to games.quick.com/donate, and you can get those in to support doctors like Ayushi and all of the people this research goes towards.
Thank you so much, Ruby. It's always amazing hearing from our charity partners and what this event is all about. Welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2024. I'm going to be your host for the next couple of runs. My name is Frozen Flygon, and these are two of my favorite games of all time. We got Pokemon Crystal and Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. Absolutely cannot wait. And with that, you still have some time to get in your names for either Chrism's trainer name or Shen's trainer name. Currently, Shen is winning right now for Chris, and Bulba is winning right now for Shen. So I know you all would love that, of course. But you still got time. You know, those are only like $30 away for Shen and $5 off for so you can change it up right now. You got time. That said, you also can put your donations towards, of course, our bonus game, Super Mario 64 Drum %. I saw the runner bringing in their equipment. It's going to be a blast. Cannot wait for that. We're at 22,000 out of 100,000. Thank you to everyone who has donated towards that. Like $20 from Karibi that says, as a drummer myself, I've got to see the Super Mario 64 Drum % run. Thank you so much for that. We have $201 from Sadwin saying, long-time donor, long-time watcher, first time attending in person. So excited to see my favorite generation run in my favorite style, especially because it means it's time for everyone to get in those Pokedex donos. Donating 201 for my favorite little guys, unknown. Thank you so much, Sadwin. I love seeing the Pokedex donations come in. I personally would also love to hear what everyone's favorite shiny Pokemon is. I agree with Umbreon. I'm a shiny Mew fan myself. Yeah, so I'd love to. Okay, Ogerpon always wins. That's correct. So send them in. Get those donations in. I'd love to hear them. We have $50 from Wolf that says, can't be there to catch the Crystal Run live, but I am hyped for it. Yeah, thank you to everyone who's been tuning in from home, donating from home as well. So happy to see all the support for our runners and this event. We have $100 from Kayaten that says, what an awesome race. Congratulations to both of the runners. E. Yeah, that Metroid Dread race was just absolutely incredible. Great work from both the runners. Can we get another round of applause for that race, actually? Yeah, that was fantastic. We have $200 from Chris Minley that says, Shen may have apologized, but chat never forgets. We have $54 from IR Cheesecake 82 saying, hello, AGDQ, long-time watcher, first-time attendee. Been having a blast here so far. Thanks to everyone's response for organizing this amazing event. Here's a Pokedex donation to put some respect on my favorite Pokemon's name, Psyduck. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Psyduck. There's not many Pokemon I'm not a fan of, let's be real. We have $250 from Lab. Thank you so much. That says, very busy with work, so I'll have to catch this year mainly from YouTube. Just wanted to get in a donation while I can. Cheers, and thanks to everyone who's running the event. And all right, we have a message here from a group that's near and dear to my heart, Frame Fatales. GDQ is proud to host Frame Fatales, a community of women and femmes interested in speedrunning, charity events, and gaming. In addition to our 2 flagship events, we have a supportive community Discord with activities year-round, including Game of the Month and randomizer events. Our next FF event is Frost Fatales 2024, running from March 3 through 10th. To check out the schedule and learn more, type FF in the chat. We just had the Frame Fatales meetup at 1 p.m. today, got to meet some incredible women in the community, and we'd love to have you. You don't have to be a speedrunner to join. You can just come in, hang out, talk about the marathon with us. We have $25 from Mr. Hug saying, good luck, Chris and Shen. And all right, speaking of Chris and Shen, we are ready for our next run, Pokemon Crystal Full Item Randomizer Co-op. Let's see it!